April 14, 2022, Ukrainian officials and the US Department of Defense said that 2 anti-ship missiles called Neptune were fired at the Moskva ship in the Black Sea. This is what happened. The Russian Navy tried to save the ship. They couldn't, and the ship sank with more than 400 members of its crew on board. In normal news, you would read and move on. However, this is not normal. This isn't like any other news you've seen because of 3 reasons. Number 1. This is the biggest warship that sunk in a battle since the World War II. Number 2. Moskva is the leader of the Russian Black Sea Fleet. Number 3. Neptune anti-ship missiles are made by Ukraine and not sent by NATO or other European countries. How did the Neptune missiles hit the Moskva ship without being stopped by the Moskva? Moskva is thought to be one of the best Russian ships. What can this ship do to react against any threat? And how likely is it that the Neptune missile will get through these defenses and reach the ship? Moskva, the Russian cruiser. Moskva was a Russian Navy-guided missile cruiser. It was named after the Russian city Moscow and was the flagship of the project, 1164 Atlant class. She was the flagship of the Russian Black Sea Fleet during the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2022, and she played a big part in the naval assault. Previously, the cruiser has participated in combat actions in Georgia 2008, Crimea 2014, and Syria 2015. It was first launched in 1979 during the Soviet era and was called Slava at the time. It is part of the Slava-class cruiser family. The Russian Navy has 3 Slava-class cruisers. One was in the Pacific Ocean called WWII. Another was in the Arctic Ocean called Marshal Ustinov. And the last one was in the Black Sea called Moskva. Moskva was the name given to it in 1996. It was thought to be the most powerful ship in the area of the Black Sea. Maintenance and repair work was done on Moskva in 2020 so it could stay in service until 2040. The Moskva is a massive ship. It measures 186.4 meters in length, 20.8 meters in width, and 8.4 meters is its depth underwater. A lot of water is displaced when it moves. It moves 12,490 tons of water. It runs on 4 huge gas turbine engines that make a lot of power. There is a clutch system that controls each turbine, and the total output is about 121,000 shaft horsepower that is sent to 2 shafts. Its speed is 32 knots, or 59 kilometers per hour, and has a range of 19,000 kilometers at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour. All of the Moskva's digital sensors and processing power are in one place, thanks to Voskhod MR800 3D series long-range search radar. It also has the Frigate MR710 3D air search radar that is used as a secondary layer of protection against incoming aircraft. And as a navigation radar, the Palm Frond suite is employed. Moskva has a lot of fire control radar systems. Pop Group SAN-4 fire control radar. This system is used to control 9 K-33 OSA missiles. Top Dome SAN-6 fire control radar. This system is used to control the S-300 surface-to-air missiles. The Bay-Stilt AK-360 system fire control radar. This system is used to control AK-630 missiles. There are a lot of defensive missile systems in Moskva, including long-range and short-range ones that can protect the ship from both air and sea threats. Both the P-500 Basalt and the P-1000 Vulcan can be fired from the Moskva. They are supersonic cruise missiles that can go from Moskva to other ships or land targets. They had a top speed of Mach 3 plus and a range of 550 kilometers. There are 64 S-300F missiles in Moskva, which are long-range surface-to-air missiles that can target both planes and missiles. Their range is between 7 and 90 kilometers and can go fast up to Mach 4 with an altitude range between 25 and 25,000 meters. It has 40 of the 9K-33 OSA missiles, which are low-altitude, short-range, tactical surface-to-air missiles that is also called SA-8. They are mostly used against low-flying planes, but they can also be used against anti-ship missiles. They can go 30 kilometers and can go up to 80 kilometers per hour. It has one twin AK-130 dual-purpose gun, 6 AK-630 close-in weapon systems, 2 RBU-6000 anti-submarine mortars, and 10 of the 533mm torpedo tubes. The Neptune missiles. They're called R-360 Neptune missiles, and they're made by Ukraine. They're anti-ship missiles. A lot of work has been done to make it better than the old Soviet Kh-35 anti-ship missile that it is based on. The R-360 Neptune cruise missile was developed by the Luch Design Bureau in 2014. It was first shown at Kyiv in 2015 and went into service in 2021. The missile was tested a lot from 2016 to 2019, but its first real use appeared on April 13, 2022, when it hit the Moskva ship. The Neptune RK-360MC division is made up of the following vehicles. There are 6 unified USBU-360 mobile launchers. Each one of them could have 4 Neptune missiles ready to fire. It also has 6 TZM-360 and 6 TM-360 vehicles. These are transport vehicles, and each one of them could hold 4 Neptune missiles. And lastly is the RCP-360. It is a mobile command and control vehicle. This system is supposed to work 25 kilometers from the coastline. Neptune missile has a range from 7 to 280 kilometers. It should be fired not more than 25 kilometers from the coastline. The missile weight is 870 kilogram, and the warhead weight is 150 kilogram. It can reach a speed of up to 900 kilometers per hour. How did Neptune pass through Moskva defenses? In order to find out how Ukraine's new missile made it through the Moskva's powerful and advanced radar-guided systems, we have to analyze it deeply. Moskva left the Sevastopol naval base on the Crimean Peninsula to fight for Russia against Ukraine. The ship led the attack on Snake Island, which was so well known. The last clear satellite picture of Moscow was taken on April 10, near the port of Sevastopol. This ship, ironically, is supposed to protect the port and the other Russian ships from attacks. A radar picture taken on April 13 shows a ship the same size as Moskva, about 150 kilometers south of Odessa, which is within the range of the Neptune missiles that were fired from Odessa. There are a lot of theories about how the Neptune missiles got through the Moskva's defenses, and that's what we'll try to talk about together and figure out the most logical one. Bayraktar distraction. Before the Neptune missiles hit the Moskva, Ukraine says that the Bayraktar drone distracted it. The drone was used to rotate the radar systems to one side of the ship, and the Neptune missiles came from the other side. This might not make sense, but it might have at least helped them distract the defenses in Moskva. In Moskva, there are a lot of radar detection systems. This little distraction should not make it easy for missiles to get in. Both the Voskhod and the Frigate are 360-degree search radars. This means that it can find enemy forces in all directions. However, they aren't as good as the fire control or target radars. The most important radar in Moskva is the Top Dome SAN-6 fire control radar. This radar is used to guide the S-300F missiles, and is the most important one. Moskva mostly uses these missiles to shoot down other missiles and air threats. This radar is only 180 degrees, so the drone might be able to confuse it. Storm distraction. That day was very stormy. Waves, rain, and storms could have made the radar systems on the Moskva go wrong. Multiple experts say that radars won't be able to tell the difference between the high waves in the sea and the low-flying missiles. If you don't know how Neptune flies and why this gives the missile a big advantage over the enemy ship, you should watch the video to the end. One YouTube channel has done a great simulation for this case. They used the Moskva as a target and fired Neptune missiles at it. The ship was able to intercept the missiles many times. But when he made the weather stormy and rainy, this was the surprise. The ship was not able to see the missiles before they hit, so it only fired the AK-630 turrets when the missile was close enough to hit the ship. Because there was not a lot of time, this missile was still able to hit the Moskva. Low altitude. The Neptune missiles are fired from a truck that is on the ground. Afterward, the missile starts to fall over the seawater at the height of about 10 to 15 meters. It keeps going down until it is just 3 to 10 meters above the wave crest before it reaches its target. This low altitude makes it very hard for the radars to see it. Moreover, the S-300F defensive missiles have a minimum altitude of 20 to 25 meters, which makes it impossible to hit Neptune at that low altitude. This brings us to the second missile system, which is a low-altitude missile as well. The 9K-33 OSO also has a minimum altitude of 25 meters, which makes it useless against this low-altitude Neptune missile that goes over the wave crest. Only the AK-630 is going to fight the missile that is coming. The AK-630 has a range for shooting down missiles that is about 1.5 kilometers away from the gun. And because the Neptune missile is flying at 900 kilometers per hour, this means that the gun will have just 6 seconds to fire back. It doesn't matter how many AK-630 turrets the Moskva has, because only 2 or 3 of them will be used to attack the missile in the next 6 seconds, and this might not be enough. In the end, all of these are just opinions that could be true or not. Russian sources haven't said how the Neptune missile destroyed the Moskva and caused it to sink, but until they do, I think these are the most likely reasons why the Moskva went down. Another thing to keep in mind is that the P-500 Basalt missiles on the cruise also played a role in this complete destruction of the ship. These missiles look like they're the first thing the missiles will hit. These missiles will help to destroy the ship even more and cause more fire and explosions if they are hit. What do you think was the main reason that caused the Moskva defensive failure?